Hey, what's going on, everybody that does Amazon Flex out there? Now, I've been an Amazon Flex driver for approximately 4 years now, and I don't do it on a regular basis, but I'm somewhere up there around 5 or 6 thousand packages, closing in on that anyway. But this video is to help people that are just coming into Amazon, kind of help them because there's not really a lot of help. It doesn't seem like on the Amazon Flex side, unless you get online and you can learn from some people. Some people are offering great advice, and some people are offering some just getting by advice, I would say. But I want to get you the right information. So, what do you do as an Amazon Flex driver? Well, you're going to deliver Amazon packages of different sizes and different weights. More than 100 million items are available to shop at Amazon, including electronics, household essentials, groceries, alcohol, and much more. All right. For Amazon Flex, you're going to basically be delivering a lot of brown boxes and plastic bags and envelopes. Are you familiar with those coming to your house if you do order Amazon? One of the questions a lot of people ask is, can I choose where I deliver? Well, you can choose the region that you deliver, but you can't choose the exact area. So, in other words, will I go into a bad side of town? Most definitely, you probably will at some point. You may get lucky on your first few routes, but you don't have any choice in what route you take. You go up there, you scan your license, and whatever they comes out is kind of like the luck of the draw, I guess. Amazon Flex delivery partners aren't able to select a specific neighborhood, the location, or a town to deliver in. So, where will you deliver to? Well, you're going to deliver to apartment complexes, you're going to deliver to businesses, you're going to deliver to houses, uh, all in the general zip code. Now, where I live at in Oklahoma, I typically am about, I'd say 50 to 70 miles around my service center. We have three service centers where I'm located at, and typically it's about 50 to 70 miles around each one of those. Are you going to have to interact with people? Most of the time, I would say no. But you are going to come in contact with people that are standing outside. Some people will be out there tracking you on their device. I've been watching you for the last 4 stops, and that's fine. Uh, some people do that. But the majority of the time, you're not going to have to interact with anybody. You're just going to grab the picture or grab the package. You're going to scan it. You're going to put it on the porch, snap a picture, and you're gone to the next stop. How often can you make deliveries? Through the app, you'll receive offers for delivery blocks, which range in duration. You can make it so those durations I've seen for 2 hours all the way to 4.5, and they used to do some 5 hour blocks where I'm from. So you'll be delivering packages in that block time. Uh, we'll probably get into some more here, but who can deliver for Amazon Flex? Well, for one, you got to be 21 years old. I thought that was kind of strange because I thought maybe uh, you could do it at 18. But apparently, you can't deliver with Amazon Flex until you're at least 21 years old. With a valid U.S. driver's license, current Amazon employees, if you work for Amazon, you can't be a Flex driver, according to this. But I don't know. All right. For more information about license requirements, see Amazon Flex app. How do I update my driver's license information, etc., etc. How old do I need to be to deliver for Amazon Flex? Well, we just covered that. It was 21 years old, right? So, uh, these are other questions here. Are there any physical requirements to deliver with Amazon Flex? Well, you're going to be expected to deliver products all the time. Different sizes, packages from different shapes, sizes, and weights. While you're free to deliver packages any way you want, I would recommend that if you're delivering the fresh items or you're doing the grocery store, or you're doing multiple deliveries. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience in my area, it's normally one package, one house, sometimes two or three packages per house, but not really heavy. but it might be a wise idea to carry yourself a dolly with you just in case. What kind of mobile device do I need? Well, I just had to upgrade my mobile device, and I had an Android version 11, and I had to upgrade to at least 13. I had that phone for like 4 years, but I went up to Walmart because I'm with Cricket and bought one for $70, which is a lot cheaper than going to the Cricket store. To deliver with Amazon Flex, you'll need an Android phone 6.0 or above with 2 gigabytes of RAM, or an iOS phone 6 or newer, iOS 13 or higher. Your device needs to have a camera with flash, GPS location services, and a SIM card. So a lot of that stuff that I just said there, I have no idea. Those are the requirements that it says on the Amazon Flex app that you're going to need to have. And another question is, can passengers be in the vehicle with me when I'm delivering packages? Well, when picking up from the Amazon stations, your passengers will have to remain in the vehicle at all times. They can't get out. This is because you'll have to drive through you're going to have to drive through the facilities to pick up packages. If passengers need to leave the vehicle, they will need to be escorted by a station employee. So I guess that means that your passenger can get out and go to the restroom as long as they're escorted by a station employee. When picking up from Prime Now, Amazon Fresh, Whole Foods, or other store locations, your passengers will not be allowed to enter the delivery station or restricted pickup areas in the stores. This may mean that the passengers will have to remain in the car or the parking lot. Pickup and delivery times may vary, and your passengers or pets may be in the car in a parking zone a little bit longer than what they may originally anticipated for sitting out there. A lot of the zones that you're in, you have to turn your vehicle off. So if it's really hot, make sure you roll down the windows, make sure your pets don't jump out, and make sure your wife is sane, or your husband's sane if they're the passenger. Passengers and pets, except for service animals, must not have any interaction with customers. They cannot accompany you when you deliver packages to customers. Now, I don't have any service animals or anything like that, and I wouldn't recommend bringing a pet, but you know, to each his own, I guess, on that. Passengers must not drive the vehicle while you're delivering for Amazon Flex. That means that when you bring a passenger with you, you can't be in the back sorting passengers while this person that's not even qualified is driving the vehicle. Uh, don't do that. But I've seen I've seen that happen before. Non-compliance with this policy may affect your eligibility to participate in the Amazon Flex program. In other words, if you get caught, you're out the door as a contractor. There's a lot of other things here that I would, insurance information. Let's go to insurance information. These are questions about what type of insurance do you need when driving for Amazon Flex. I'm driving in New York. What coverage am I required? Now, I have no idea what's going on in New York, but if you do live in New York state law dictates that you must have an auto policy that lists your name as an insured, list you as an insured driver, covers the deliveries and packages, alcohol from the grocery stores, and similar goods. In other words, it's kind of like cargo and liability insurance in the trucking industry, but you need to have an insurance policy that covers that type of stuff. Allows for regular commercial activity in the state of New York. I don't live in New York, never will. I visited there. New York City, Buffalo, Rochester. I've been all those places, but I've never delivered Amazon Flex. Now, a lot of you may not know about me, but I was a truck driver for about 22 years, and I've driven a couple million miles, and logistics is something that I've done my entire life. So I'm just going through this here Amazon Flex thing because I started doing it a few years ago just to bring in a little extra money for my businesses. I have a couple of other businesses that I run, like vending machines and a landscape company. But I don't see too many videos out there explaining what Amazon Flex is about, at least not in great detail. So that's why I'm making this video. If you like it, do what you need to do down there on the bottom. Let's see here. We're still in New York, anyway. These activities may be excluded from your personal auto insurance policy. You should contact your auto insurance companies to verify information about your coverage if they are excluded. You must obtain additional insurance coverage, like a hybrid policy or a umbrella policy that meets the requirements to deliver with Amazon Flex. What if I have my own commercial auto policy? Well, basically what's going to happen is your policy will cover, and then uh, it, the Amazon insurance policy is kind of like an umbrella protection, I guess you could say. Uh, what if my what if I have my own commercial auto policy? Well, auto insurance policy will be in excess. Yeah, so basically it's a excess of your commercial auto policy. Can I deliver for Amazon Flex in a borrowed, rented, or shared vehicle? Now, you can use a borrowed, rented as long as you maintain all licenses, permits, insurance, and other authorization necessary to use in vehicle compliance with local and state laws. Now, your state may be different. Like New York has a lot of extra laws. California has a lot of extra laws. Uh, Oklahoma, uh, we just require you have a heartbeat out here, I'm pretty sure. You can use borrowed or rented equipment. Uh, Delivery partner to pick up routes or deliver packages during the same block is not permitted. So, with local and state. Oh, sharing the same vehicle with other delivery partners. So, I think I've seen this happen before where people show up with two phones, two routes, and they put both routes into one vehicle and they try to deliver them all in 4 hours. Good luck on that, because you might have gotten a route that went this way and a route that went that way, and I think that's just setting yourself up for failure anyway. So, in other words, me, and my wife, for instance, if she wanted to do Amazon Flex, we'd show up with two routes and scan, and then get everything in the back of one vehicle. And I'm telling you what, doing that in 4.5 hours is just going to suck, and it's not going to be possible. So I wouldn't even try it. Do I need to tell my personal auto insurer that I deliver with Amazon Flex? Yeah, I would say you do. Will you pay more for your premium? Yes. So you take that as you want. What should I do if I get into an accident or have an incident while delivering with Amazon? Uh, your safety is important. They say that a lot. Your safety. Yeah, your safety is important to you, and it should be first and foremost you. Comply with any obligations you would have customarily if you have an accident. Uh, you want to give them your insurance policy. Do all the stuff that's pertinent for your state. I'm not going to get too much into that, because whatever your state is, normally you have an accident, you exchange information, and if you have injuries, you would typically call an emergency authority, and hopefully you don't get into any accidents. But you can look up that more. What will happen when I report my incident to Amazon Flex? I have no idea. I've never had to report one. Does my insurance coverage change with instant offers? I don't think so. Let's see what that says. Does my insurance coverage change? Amazon commercial auto insurance policy will provide commercial insurance coverage from the moment you accept a restaurant delivery service request and are en route to the restaurant. Until you have completed the restaurant delivery service request in New York State, you should check with your own insurance company to understand how your insurance coverage will operate. What's going on out there in New York anyway? You guys have some weird ass laws, high taxes and high property taxes. I just, I'm glad I don't live out there. I'm glad I delivered out there, but I'm glad I don't live out there. So let's go to scheduling and calendar. Can I make deliveries without signing up for delivery blocks in advance? Throughout the day, you can check for the available blocks on your Amazon Flex home screen and schedule offers that are available to everyone. What does it mean when a calendar shows orange dots? Well, that means that you've taken a route for that day. All right, orange dots indicate that you have scheduled an offer for a delivery block on that day. If you cannot make the delivery block or are going to be late, you should forfeit it at least 45 minutes ahead of the block start time. Now, I would say that if you decide to forfeit it, try to make it an hour before the start time, because if you forfeit it right at the 45-minute mark and you're not giving yourself a 5 or 10 minutes before that, I would recommend 15. Your clock and their clock may be 1 minute off, and they're gonna that you're gonna hear the word ding. That they just say don't do that, and your rating goes down. And we'll talk about ratings and stuff like that a little bit later. I hope everybody's enjoying this. We're just going to keep on moving along here. What if I can no longer make a delivery in the block I scheduled? Well, if you anticipate that you'll be late or unavailable to deliver the block, go to the calendar in the Amazon Flex app, tap the day of the scheduled block, and tap forfeit. Basically, if you can't deliver it and you don't think that you're going to be able to make it in that particular time because, you got a baby shower or you got to be at the lake to drop your fishing boat in the hole and you got to get out to your favorite fishing spot, go ahead and just forfeit the block. Uh, I look at weather forecasts mainly. If I forfeit a block, I'll say, oh, yeah, big old thunderstorm rolling through with hail and tornadoes. I think I'll forfeit today and I'll just come back at another time. And then sometimes you're going to get hit. Sometimes traffic's just going to make you late. And I think you get till 5 minutes after. And like today, for instance, I went and paid a bill and I left my cell phone where I paid the bill. And I ran all the way up to the facility and realized I didn't have my cell phone. At that point, well, I'm screwed. I'm going to have to take a hit for it or whatever. I do pretty good. I mean, 99% of the time I'm delivering my blocks, but I just screwed up, forgot my cell phone today. So I probably going to have a missed block completely. But sometimes stuff happens, right? What if I could no longer make delivery blocks I scheduled? Just forfeit the block. You know what I mean? Just forfeit the block. Delivery requirements and expectations. What is expected of me? Well, this uh, is going to be good. For one, you need to have a heartbeat. All right. You need to have some pretty decent driving skills, and you got this standing. All right. People really get a little bit too involved with their standing. All right. You got like poor or at risk, fair, great, and fantastic. If you could stay somewhere between the fair and fantastic side, that's good. But like I said, like today, I missed a block and it was my fault. I'm going to take a hit on that standing. Don't think you got to be fantastic all the time because we're not. We're human and we're not fantastic all the time. Your standing tells you how you're doing in the Amazon Flex app. It shows how you did in two areas during your recent deliveries: reliability and delivery quality. There are four standings: fantastic, great, fair, and at risk. If you are fantastic or great, you're doing well. Keep up the good work. If you're fair, check out some tips and how to improve the standing details page. If you're at risk and you don't improve soon, you may get axed. All right, you may not be able to be eligible to deliver Amazon Flex, and you won't be able to make the $900,000 a day. No, I'm just joking. It's like $80 a day, right? All right, my wife's over here watching me film this little video here. All right, the next thing is to learn more about standings, go to the learning portal in your Amazon Flex app, and it'll tell you a lot about your standings. You also got these badges, all right? Like if you get the early bird badge, and I leave that to those people. I don't need rewarded every time I do something. My job is to pick up packages, deliver packages, and packages that I can't deliver, I bring back to the yard. I can't really explain it any more simpler than that. Uh, but you're gonna deliver some packages, and you're gonna go to some hairy locations. You're gonna have dogs chasing after you. All this stuff is going to happen if you deliver enough Amazon Flex blocks. All right. Of course, even if a incident or highly unprofessional, illegal, or unsafe behavior may make you ineligible to participate in the Amazon Flex app. So, in other words, probably uh, being rude to a customer. Uh, and customers, like I said, you don't really talk to them that often. But don't take your package and whiz it out like a damn frisbee, and it skips across the ground 4 times and trying to do some paperboy shit and landing it on the front porch. That ain't gonna work for you. Uh, that could probably get you. And so many people have Ring doorbell cameras. All right, they're filming you when you walk to the door. I bet you about 90% of all the damn places I deliver, even homes, I'm on camera. As an Amazon Flex driver, realize that you're going to be on camera several times a day. It's just the nature of the beast these days. Mainly because of like porch pirates and just people like to spy on each other. I think nowadays it's not like it used to be. Of course, even one incident or highly unprofessional, illegal, or unsafe behavior may be make you ineligible. So, in other words, just walking up to a customer and punching him in the face probably isn't a good idea just because, he said something mad about you. There's plenty of videos on YouTube of Amazon Flex drivers going absolutely AWOL, and you wonder what happened or what led them up to that, and I have no idea. All I do is say, I don't want to reach that level. You know what I mean? All right. For details, this is about reliabilities, about what is expected your reliability to go on in the learning portal, deliver. What does reliability mean in terms of standing? Route acceptance. Once you tap, I've arrived at the pickup location, you're expected to accept a randomly assigned route that matches your confirmed block. If you feel this assignment package now this might seem a little bit, uh, it's really not that complicated, people. You show up, you, you hit I arrived on your app, and then it's probably going to tell you to take a picture. Sometimes you get to miss this, but for some reason I get it like 99% of the time. Snap a picture. Normally I don't have to take a picture if I do 2 routes in a day, which I very seldom do. But if every morning when I show up, boom, I have to take a picture of myself. Make sure if you wear glasses, you take your glasses off and look into the camera, even though I can't see it from that distance away. Take your picture, and then it's going to say check in. Make sure you don't take your picture until you're at least 15 minutes. So if your route starts at 3:45, you can take your picture and check in at 3:30. All right. Once you do that, you're going to go up to the facility. They're going to scan your driver's license. You're going to scan your driver's license. They were going to wheel out a cart to you. Now, there's 2 different ways. I always just scan the whole cart. All right. I scan the whole cart. All my packages are there. And, well, they might not be. Sometimes there's a missing package, and I'll get to that here in just a second. I load that up in the back of the van, and typically I'm in the facility 15 minutes earlier, and I'm leaving the facility 15 minutes right at my route start time. Do you get paid for loading? No, no. You don't get paid for loading. You get paid 4.5 hours. So if you show up 15 minutes early, well, they should pay me for that 15 minutes. They should pay me for that 15 minutes. Yeah, they should, but they don't. All right? They should, but they don't. You're a contractor. Don't forget that. You're not an employee working for the last job you work for. You get treated a little bit different as a contractor or as a business owner, which is basically what you are whenever you're doing this type of work. Remember not to place the packages in the mailboxes. Now you're going to see notes of customers that say, "Just leave my package in the mailbox." I never leave it in the mailbox. All right. Uh, that's a federal crime. It's illegal. And it's kind of like it's a federal crime that I would say rates right up there with tearing off the damn mattress uh, tag on the bottom. But I never put it in the mailboxes. All right. Just remember that's a federal crime if you do that. So uh, I've never really seen anyone prosecuted or anything for that. But I know it's out there. That wouldn't be a law if it wasn't. So if the notes say put it in the mailbox, it does not go in the mailbox. And if they complain to Amazon, I don't care. All right. I really don't. Uh, if they complain to Amazon about me, your Amazon driver didn't break federal law. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to get by with that for the most part if the people at the Amazon facility are clicking, clicking in their head, and they put two and two together and realize, okay, yeah, that's just not going to work. Packages you do not attempt to deliver or do not return to the Amazon facility. Uh, so if you can't deliver a package, bring it back to the Amazon facility. Try to bring it back to the Amazon facility the same day. Just bring it back. Get done with it. Sometimes you can call up and you can get a little extra pay if it's 4 hours and 30 minutes. I'm going to say that if you call up Amazon support, you call up their traffic number, the people that actually are responsible for giving you more money, you can add an extra 18. I've had them add as much as $45 to my route for working an extra hour. All right. In a future video, this is basically for all the beginning people out there. Uh, I'm going to go into some of those details. When you call up support, you may not be able to understand the person speaking on the other line because they don't speak fluent English. All right. I don't speak Spanish and I don't speak different languages. There's nothing wrong with people that speak those languages, but I do enjoy a conversation with someone that could speak fluent English. You get what I'm saying? All right. And I'll tell you how to deal with that. Basically, you just hang up and keep calling back until you get someone that you can actually understand when they say who they are and you can get their name. All right. I prefer names like Fred and Jack, that I'm speaking to, but I don't get that. I think the last guy that I got that was really good, his name was Josh, and I was able to understand that. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just got to call. I can't understand this person even though I hit English. Hang up and call back. You won't get that same person. There's thousands of those customer service representatives, so you have a better chance. If you can't understand or it doesn't seem like they're getting your point across, uh, that's how I handle it. I just hang up and I call back and I get somebody. And whenever I get that email that they always, how did this person do? I'm like, 1 star, they sucked because I couldn't understand them because they didn't speak fluent English when I hit the English button. All right. Failure to comply with health and safety of and other laws. That's one way to get banned. I remember back in COVID where everybody was required to wear a mask and they were giving out hand sanitizers. You had all these masks on your face. Amazon takes customer service uh, safety and the law very seriously. Remember, if you get into a tough situation, contact support. Contact support. Uh, if you have to get yourself out of a situation, worry about the situation first. All right. Don't be sitting there crying to contact Amazon support if someone's trying to, beat the hell out of you. You're going to have to deal with that situation as it comes. Will it happen? It's happened. All right. There's a lot of people out here doing this Amazon Flex. As a matter of fact, when you see how many people do Amazon Flex, you will realize why customer service is the way it is. All right. There's a lot of us out here doing it. If you are no longer eligible to participate in the Amazon Flex program, either because of repeated instances or significant incidents, you'll be notified by email. So, in other words, they're going to notify you by email and say, you're gone, you can't deliver, and you're probably, I've never seen it happen, but I'm pretty sure they just lock the app up and you just can't use it anymore. All right, let's see. What else do we got here on the Amazon Flex? Instant offers, earnings and taxes, deliver in California. Well, I think I'm not going to even talk about the state of California. All right, there's plenty of people that live out in California. You guys got your own separate set of everything that goes on out there, uh, including I don't know. I'd like to hear some from someone. I used to pick up out there in Compton, and they had a Best Buy warehouse out there where I used to pick up plasma screen TVs. And by the life of me, I have no idea why Best Buy decided Compton was a great place for an electronics warehouse. But neither here nor there. I hope that everybody has themselves a great day. Be safe out there, and if you're a brand new Amazon Flex driver, hey, when you get down and you feel like you're pulling your hair out, uh, just relax. All right, everything goes smoothly when you relax. And when things get tough, just I would say if things get so tough where you're about to pull your hair out, you know, uh, bring some of these stops back. You don't need to be going out there and getting eaten by dogs or anything like that. And in future videos, I will talk about how I've dealt with different dog situations and how I dealt with customers. And you just don't see a lot of help. All right. The main help that you're going to get is you're going to get some people in customer service who are outstanding. And you're going to get some people in customer service where you're going to be like, what is this number even for? All right. So that's what this video is, just to let you know that, hey, this is the normal way uh, of an Amazon Flex driver. All right, you guys have yourself a great day, and I will see you on the flip flop next time.